और प्रवाल भूमि अनंत सागर संपत्ति का खोज शोध और परिरक्षण सदा रहे सदा हमारा समुद्री मत्स्य की संस्था भारत देश है मेरा। पोषण खाद्य सुरक्षा नव तकनीकी है हमारी लक्ष्य जैव विविधता और पर्यावरण करे अनुसंधान ये संस्थान स्वच्छ समुद्र निर्मल तट है समुद्री संस्थान के अभिमान यही हमारी कर्म भूमि है कृषि अनुसंधान की पहचान भारत देश है मेरा जिसे जुड़ी जल की धारा हिमालया की से निकले मिले जाके सागर में सारा भारत देश है मेरा समुद्री संस्थान है हमारा समुद्री संस्थान है हमारा।
May I now invite Director, ICAR-CMFRI, Dr. Grinson George, to warmly welcome our distinguished guest with floral bouquets. First, to our Chief Guest, Dr. S. Somnath, Vikram Sarabhai, Distinguished Professor and former Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization. Dr. J.K. Jaina, Deputy Director General, Fisheries Science and Education, ICAR, who is presiding the function. Sri Dodda Venkataswamy IAS, Chairman MPEDA. Ambassador CSR Ram, IFS, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Dr. Bijay Kumar Behra, ARS, Chief Executive, NFDB. Dr. Chesak Virapat, Regional Director for Asia, Times, Thailand, and former DG NACA and UN CEDAP. Dr. P. Krishnan, Director, BOBP, IGO. Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, former Director, ICAR-CMFRI, and immediate past President, MBAI. Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. Grinson George, Director, ICAR-CMFRI, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
A very warm good morning to our chief guest, esteemed guests of honor, distinguished scientists, delegates, sponsors, media representatives, and all members of the marine ecosystems fraternity. On this significant 4th of November 2025, on behalf of the Marine Biological Association of India, MBAI, ICAR-Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, ICAR-CMFRI, the Bay of Bengal Program, Intergovernmental Organization, BOBP, IGO, and the National Fisheries Development Board, NFDB, it is my immense pleasure to welcome all of you to the inaugural function of MECOS4 International Symposium on Marine Ecosystems, Challenges and Opportunities. We are profoundly privileged to have our amidst today a complete man, a scientist who embodies the synergy of structure and uncertainty. He synergizes space with the earth. I extend a very special and heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Dr. S. Somnath Vikram Sarabhai, Distinguished Professor and former Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization. Sir, your presence as the face of Indian space research and a figure truly wedded to fisheries through your family inspires our entire fraternity, fisheries fraternity, wholeheartedly welcomes you, sir. The success of MECOS4 is built on the support of our leaders and partners. We are deeply guided by the leader of Fisheries and Education, the Deputy Director General, Dr. J.K. Jana. He is the Deputy Director General of Fisheries and Education. Sir, your tremendous support and return to your alma mater are a massive boost to this program. Welcome, sir. A warm welcome to Ambassador C.S.R. Ram, IFS, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, a seasoned diplomat, opening doors of marine fisheries by facilitating all our South-South collaboration. We welcome Dr. Chersak Virapet, Regional Director for Asian Times, a globally renowned leader whose guidance has been beyond words. Welcome to God's own country, the former DG Naka and former DG UN Siradar. Welcome, sir. My sincere thanks and welcome to our pillar of strength, Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, former Director ICAR-CMFRI and immediate past President MBAI. Sir, you guided all of us throughout and represent this enduring legacy of CMFRI. And to esteemed seniors whose faith in this mammoth effort is invaluable, Dr. Vijay Kumar Behera, ARS, Chief Executive, National Fisheries Development Board, and Dr. P. Krishnan, Director, Bay of Bengal Program, IGO. Welcome you both, sirs. We also extend a warm welcome to Sri Doda Venkataswamy, IAS, Chairman, Marine Products Export Development Authority. He has been part and parcel of many of our programs and he has been instrumental in helping us in surviving many of our major initiatives. He supported the Marine Mammal Assessment Network. He was part of the last week he came for the Marine Fishery Census activities also. Welcome you, sir, especially to this occasion. I think I covered the stage. Now, when I see like all of my seniors, mentors, all are sitting here, I'm deeply motivated. I will acknowledge at least few names. The hall is full. Every name is familiar. I just first want to acknowledge the consistent guidance of my own mentor and a true international leader in oceanography, Dr. P. Vedamani. He is my guide and the UNESCO chair in marine science at Qatar University. He consented and he came here. Sir, your mentorship is a constant source of inspiration and as we tackle these critical global challenges. Welcome you, sir. Programs do not happen so easily, but with immense collective effort. Success also happens with finance, and we gratefully acknowledge, welcome and thank all our sponsors. I thank all ICR directors, Kuldeep sir, Kajal sir, Nainan sir, they're sitting here. Dr. Das could not come here, but all of them have tremendously supported the program. Thank you all of you. In addition, this has been a truly inspirational journey. The Marine Biological Association of India, they have immensely supported through all the activities. I think it is represented by the entire executive committee. They are sitting here. The Vice Presidents, Dr. Suganan and Dr. Jaishankar, they are here. Thank you, sir, for your presence. I welcome both of you. We have a special session on women in marine science, ably led by our former DDG, Dr. B. Meena Kumari, and joined with us, Dr. Prabha, former Secretary, Coastal Aquaculture Authority, Dr. Krishna Srinath, former Director of Siva Bhuvaneshwar, Dr. Mini Raman, she was our alumnus and worked in ISR also. I welcome all of them. And our former Director, Dr. N.G.K. Pillai, he is also present here. Welcome you, sir. I see Radha Krishnan, sir, and many senior retired persons also from CMFRI. The representatives from KUFOS, KUSAT, former executive committee member and former scientist in charge KKC Nair sir, the directors of NIFAT, and the former retired persons. I see Dr. Nandini from NERSI and many of them. I'll be not able to recognize all of you. It's a very big audience. We are expecting around 600 delegates attending this program. You are all close to my heart. Because you are close to my heart, you are here. I welcome all of you. And this activity would not have been done without the support of the team CMFRI. You must have seen our incredible women in blue and all our supporting staff. you bore the brunt working through sleepless nights and missed the holidays also. I will say, I want to reiterate the words of Jemima Rodriguez. She was instrumental in taking India to the finals. So she said that she was staying calm and maintained the peace at the middle of the beach. My job was just to maintain the peace and calm, and the entire toil was taken by the team CMFRI. And it is represented by Dr. Rekha Nair, scientist and principal, organizing secretary. She represents the dedication of this entire team CMFRI, who worked with that extra mile and walked with me. And what we see today is because of all of you. My heartfelt welcome and deepest thanks to every single member of CMFRI family. Marine ecosystem is our pride. Our task is clear: to conserve and sustainably earn from it and to add stimulus to our country's economy. The uncertain beauty of biology requires the synergy of the vibrant minds gathered together here today. You see 50% of this is students from different universities, maybe KUFOS, KUSAT and others. We are signing MOU with Satyabama. We have already entered into a memorandum of agreement with NITE University. I see Dr. Habibullah also, Director SIFNet. I welcome all of you to be part of this 3 days. We will listen, deliberate and make the best use of all this expertise. Once again, welcome to CMFRI, welcome to Kochi, welcome to MECOS. Thank you. Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandan, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that warm welcome address. May I now invite our guest of honor, Dr. P. Krishnan, Director, Bay of Bengal Program, for his address. Sir is guiding regional collaboration for sustainable fisheries across the Bay of Bengal region. Sir, please.
Distinguished dignitaries and colleagues on and off the dais, very, very good morning to all of you. I'm deeply humbled and honored to be part of this very important event, MECOS4, which is one of the largest regional scientific gathering, and that too it's happening in CMFRI, one of the largest research organization focused on marine fisheries in the world. Thank you so much to CMFRI for giving this honor of being part. We are in the 4th edition of MECOS. At least in this edition, there is a small value addition. Every edition had international guests, participants, and in this edition, the international researchers from the region who are attending here are not just presenters and participants, but this time they are attending as collaborators. And if this has happened, it is because of a new initiative of Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs, that is BIMRAN. BIMRAN stands for BIMSTEC India Marine Research Network. And BIMSTEC, all of you know, it is Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral and Technical Economic Cooperation. And why it was kind of initiated was Bay of Bengal, all of you know, it's a very, very highly productive region, and 6% of the world's total landings comes from this region. More than 1/3 of the fishing vessels of the world ply from this region. So the countries around this Bay of Bengal, they came together, realized fishery is shared. We cannot do research independently. There has to be a kind of a collaborative research to have harmonious policies. And that's where Government of India has taken a lead, being the country with a significant presence in marine research, largest number of institutions, infrastructure, and the longest coast along the Bay of Bengal. So BIMRAN was conceived in 2023, kind of inaugurated in 2024, and 2025 we are here for the first regional conclave. I should acknowledge, in all these 3 stages, Dr. Jana, the DDG Fisheries, had been instrumental, pivotal, and then had been standing with us all through. Thank you, Dr. Jana sir, for this entire inspiration. And if you see the structure of BIMRAN, it is the purpose is to facilitate cooperation and collaboration among the marine researchers in this region. And it has 2 components. One is split site, where the researchers who are doing PhD in this BIMSTEC member countries can do part of their PhD here, research here. under this initiative, there are 3 PhD students currently in India. One of them is from CMFRI. And it has a second component, which is twinning research project, that is to facilitate researchers from India, the institutions in India, to partner with the institutions in the BIMSTEC member countries. And under this arrangement, from India, there are 6 institutions which are kind of associated with this. 4 of them are from ICR, CMFRI, CIFRI, CAFT, and the CAFE, all the 4 institutions, and then 1 state agriculture university, and then 1 deemed university, Satyabama University. So this network in the first phase has connected 25 institutions, 56 researchers from 5 countries. I would like to close when we have this MECOS5, before that, possibly CMFRI will be having a BIMSTEC center on marine fisheries research. Yesterday, Ambassador Ram was mentioning under this initiative, they are creating new centers on various thematic areas, and there is a kind of a consideration for marine research being developed in a national institution. I'm sure he'll be inspired by this entire setup, and then possibly we will see Ambassador Ram visiting here for such an occasion in the coming future. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful and encouraging remarks. Moving on, we have address by guest of honor Dr. Chesak Virapat, Regional Director for Asia, James, Thailand, and former DG NACA and UN CIRDAP, a global leader in aquaculture cooperation, advancing sustainable development across nations. Sir, please.
Excellency, Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. S. Somnath, Dr. J.K. Jina, the guest of honor, Dr. Grinson George, Dr. Krishnan, delegates from international and national organizations, researchers, academicians, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I would like to extend my warm greetings to each of you at this inauguration of MECOS4 International Symposium organized at ICAR-CMFRI in Kochi, India. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and acknowledgement to the BOBP, IGO, and ICAR-CMFRI for kind invitation and hospitality for me to attend this very important event. I had been collaborating with Dr. Grinson George and Dr. P. Krishnan since working with a network of aquaculture center in Asia Pacific, NACA, and the Center on Integrated Rural Development for Asia and the Pacific, CIRDAP, since 2018. I would like to congratulate both organizers for effectively and successfully organizing the MECOS4. The event will surely promote regional cooperation among governments, international and regional organizations, academic institutions, and non-governmental organizations. The vision to engage multi-stakeholder, focusing on improving knowledge-based ecosystem approach to fisheries and other effective area-based conservation measures, as well as the establishment of BOBP, EDIF Center of Ecosystem Approach to Fishery Management at CMFRI headquarters are highly important. I would like you to think about, look at the ocean in a very broad way, because ocean, when you look at the ocean, you look from space to the surface of the ocean and seas, down to the seafloor. And at the same time, when you look at the horizontal way, you look from coastal, you look from inland, you look from the coastal area, you look to the offshore, as well as deep sea issues. So it's broad, cover everywhere. And in order to understand that, you have to look holistically, and also many kind of concept has been emerged, not recently, like blue economy. Dr. Oni Benham, the honorary president of International Ocean Institute, kindly defined the blue economy as living with ocean and from the ocean on a sustainable relationship. And that reflects truly how human beings live with and from the ocean. Many challenges at the grassroots level are known. To name them such as food security, food safety, climate change, marine disasters, marine and plastic pollution, biodiversity losses, for example. At the same time, many opportunities have emerged, including multi-level cooperation and integrated action on managing and mitigating these challenges. The year 2030 is approaching in 5 years, and the target Sustainable Development Goals have yet to be implemented and assessed. We are here to share our ongoing and collective commitments to the cooperation and the implementation of our organization's important mission, and to the fostering of the collaboration among governments, private sector, academic institutions, and non-governmental organizations. This will provide further our technical support, joint collaboration, research and development, capacity building for its member countries and scientific communities for the benefits of people and community in Asia and of the world. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the International Emergency Management Society of Asia, I wish you all a great success in organizing the MECOS4 and related events. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable perspectives with us. Moving further, we have address by guest of honor, Dr. Vijay Kumar Behra ARS, Chief Executive, National Fisheries Development Board. Sir is driving fisheries and aquaculture sectorial expansion in the country through national mission-based initiatives. Sir, please.
Very good morning to all of you. Dr. S. Somanath, Vikram Sarabhai, Distinguished Professor and former Chairman ISRO, Dr. J.K. Jena, DDG Fishery Science and DDG Education, ICAR New Delhi, Dr. Virapath, Regional Director of Asia Teams, Thailand, Dr. C.S.R. Ram, Joint Secretary, Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, Dr. D. Venkateswamy, Chairman, MPEDA, Dr. Ginson George, Director, CMFRI, Dr. P. Krishnan, Director, BOBP, Dr. Gopal Krishnan, former Director, CMFRI, Dr. Rekha Nair, Organizing Secretary of this program, and many distinguished guests. If I'll name Madam Meena Kumari, our former Deputy Director General Fisheries Science, then Dr. Sugunan, our ADG, former ADG Inland Fisheries, Dr. Kajal Chakravarti, Dr. Nainan, Director CIFT, Dr. Habibullah, Director SIFNet from Ministry, Here, Dr. P. Jayasankar, our former director, SIFA, Krishna Srinath Madam, former director, Women in Agriculture, Dr. Kuldeep Lal, our director, SIBA, many distinguished guests. I may not name because all are senior. That's why I took their name. Thank you and very good morning to all of you. I'm indeed happy that Dr. Ginson George invited me here, and they have also collaborated with National Fishery Development Board to organize this program. I'm very much thankful to you also. In this conference, based on marine ecosystem challenges and opportunities, in this subject is very important because many times we used to talk regarding the inland fisheries, but marine fisheries is also equally important for us. And why resources are reducing day by day, biodiversity reducing, pollution is increasing, challenges are plenty, but we have to do a lot of things. That is why this deliberation will be definitely helpful. And here, in this conference, we have got 4 very nicely designed 4 themes. First is ecosystems and biodiversity conservation. Second is sustainable fisheries and mariculture. Third is climate and environmental resilience. Fourth is products, value chains and livelihoods. I will not take much time. However, from Government of India side and from NFDB side, what are the different type of initiatives have taken for those 4 sectors, I will little bit highlight. So first, if you will see ecosystem and biodiversity conservation. So under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, we have installed around 937 artificial reefs units in 11 states and union territories, spending around 180 crores. And ICAR-CMFRI has been instrumental. Our Dr. Joe is here. He is the regional head of Visakhapatnam. He is spearheading this program, and we are able to increase our biodiversity in marine ecosystems. And if you will see, for conservation of our marine turtles, we are installing turtle exclusion devices. So under corporate social responsibility scheme, National Fishery Development Board already started giving on free basis to the fishermen to install turtle exclusion devices in Andhra Pradesh. In pilot scale, we have already started, and in this plan, Government of India has earmarked 54 crores rupees to install only turtle exclusion devices. And we have started dispersing the money to all the state governments. Again, under PMSSY, we have funded around 12 crores of rupees for sea ranching. Under this scheme, we have already stocked 10 lakhs of fingerlings for the conservation of marine fisheries biodiversity in this country. And especially Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh. These 4 states have started this program, sea ranching program. If you will see sustainable fisheries and mariculture, under this, Government of India has nominated 34 clusters to develop the fishery sector in this country. Out of that 34 clusters, if you will see, tuna cluster at Andaman Nicobar, seaweed cluster at Lakshadweep, then marine cage culture cluster at Karnataka. These are the few I cannot tell many names of 34 clusters, but for mariculture, these are the clusters Government of India has already initiated, and we are working on that, how to develop the infrastructure, how create the facility. Even we have started work in Lakshadweep for seaweeds, sanctioning money for hatcheries and also cultivation centers. And at the same time, CMFRI Mandapam Center has been declared for nucleus breeding center for marine finfishes and also for center of excellence for seaweeds. That work is going on, and we are going to initiate few more works in this line also. At the same time, India is also a part to various international treaties. We are working, and if you see on climate and environmental resilience, we have already started working to develop 100 climate resilient coastal fishermen villages. Under that, we have earmarked already sanctioned for 95 coastal villages. For each village is 2 crores each. In that 2 crores, 140 lakhs is meant for infrastructure development and 60 lakhs for livelihood. For like catch culture, providing facilities to the farmers. I want to highlight here that we have already provided transponders to the fishermen for their safety in collaboration with ISRO and employees. Because of the benefit for fishermen when go to sea, they may not have any communication systems to land. Therefore, this transponder will help. That is why we have decided Government of India will give free 1 lakh transponder to fish farmers, fishermen. And at last, we have also initiated some, because Jana sir is here, I want to highlight, we have already from NFDB side initiated some R&D projects with our ICAR Institute, especially in CMFRI. Under that, like post-harvest potential of metapelagic fishes in EEZ to CMFRI. Then it will see, then combating ghost gears for grow litter activities and all that we have given to CIP Mumbai. Then again upscaling abandoned, lost, discarded fishing nets that which can be converted to textiles as given to CIFT Kochi. So in addition to that, how the drones can be applied in fisheries and aquaculture. One demonstration we have done at CMFRI itself with our Union Minister George Kurian was here, and that project has been given to SIPRI to help how this drone can take air cargo to carry 100 kg payload at least for 10 kilometers distance. So these are the few things from ministry and NFB side we have initiated. Excluding that, we are also for proposals for HRD, training, exposure visit for the fishermen or farmers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful address. Moving on, we have address by guest of honor, Ambassador CSR Ram, IFS, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi. Sir has played a key role in enabling global partnership in blue economy development. Sir, please.
Thank you. Namaste. Good morning. Let me at the outset commend and congratulate CMFRI, Dr. Jawar and his committed team in organizing this 4th edition of MECOS Symposium with the congregation of all the stakeholders of marine fisheries research. I'd also like to thank CMFRI for partnering with BOBP IGO, our partner agency, in implementing the BIMREN project, BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Marine Research Network project, in organizing its biennial conference, which is an important component of the project. Through BIMREN, I have got a number of opportunities to interact with individuals and institutions of fisheries research and fisheries ecosystem. And I have been immensely enriched and benefited with those interactions. And today I am here in Kochi, which is the nerve center of Indian fisheries research and fisheries ecosystem. I thank CMFRI for inviting me and giving me an opportunity of this very invaluable interaction. As the national coordinator of India for the regional cooperation in the neighborhood and beyond, I must emphasize that all our cooperation, be it in the neighborhood or globally has the marine and maritime cooperation as one of the most important priority areas of cooperation and global engagement. In fact, in the neighborhood, all the platforms, especially BIMSTEC, which is centered around Bay of Bengal region, have wide spectrum of cooperation areas for our maritime cooperation, be it maritime security, maritime trade, maritime connectivity, blue economy, securing sea lanes of communication, or creating the maritime domain awareness. We have maritime cooperation as the main thrust area for our engagement with our partner countries. As a part of that commitment, India has launched Bay of Bengal Maritime Research Network, and I have been benefited with our strong partnership with BOBP IGO, and through which, with all the maritime research, marine research institutions in India and in the member states of BIMSTEC. Our maritime thrust on marine research and marine cooperation thrust is not just limited to the neighborhood, but this is our main priority area of global engagement. From neighborhood, we have the neighborhood first policy, which focuses on the maritime and marine cooperation for the growth and prosperity of the member countries. The Indo-Pacific strategy, the Act East policy, Mahasagar itself has Sagar in its name, and the whole global South engagement strategy has a strong component of marine and maritime cooperation. I'm sure CMFRI, as the leading research institution from India, and the congregations like this will provide a lot of inputs and direct and indirect recommendations for policy making, for taking our global engagement in this priority area forward. I understand CMFRI is already part of many of the regional and global engagement from India through ARDO and many other regional and global institutions. And I'm hopeful that with such congregations, we will have lot many other stakeholders connected with this strengthened global engagement of India. Once again, I'd like to congratulate and thank CMFRI for organizing this edition of MECOS, inviting me, giving me an opportunity to interact with this eminent congregation of senior scientists and researchers, and I wish the best for MECOS for the successful deliberations in the days to come. I'm certain that the deliberations that you all will have many ideas and recommendations for evidence-based policy making for India to take leadership for strengthening the global cooperation in marine and maritime sustainability. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Thank you for that enlightening address, sir. May I now invite guest of honor Sri Dodda Vengadaswamy IAS, Chairman MPEDA. Sir is spearheading India's marine product export growth and international market development. Sir, please.
Respected dignitaries, distinguished scientists and delegates, A very good morning. Ellariku namaskaram. Firstly, I thank CMFRI and MECOS organizers for inviting MPEDA to be here. So, today since we have the former ISRO chairman, I would start with what achievement ISRO did. So, if we can reach the moon, why can't we fit TEDs in all the vessels? So that would be my question. So my argument or my facts which I would be placing would be based around this statement. So if we can reach moon, why can't we do? So even for reaching moon, I think Sir will share his experience. Lot of factors are there. It has to be precise. In fact, we have a TED, we have a desire, but why can't we implement? Because that is dependent on different institutions, community trust, and behavioral change. So, in this context, MECOS, this workshop, is where such ecosystem is built for implementing the TED. Like for moon, we have an organization called ISRO. But for TED, you have multiple organizations, the variables are too many. So such conference, this is not just a conference, this is a platform where we can shape our future. So why MECOS matters for MPEDA? So if you see the themes, you talk about ecosystem, biodiversity, sustainable fisheries, climate resilience, value chains. All these are related to MPEDA. So what you speak in science, that affects MPEDA directly. So I am the person who take the brunt of all these challenges which you discuss in your science papers. So I'd give some examples. Like if you see the global market demands, like we, in the last 2 to 3 years, we have been exporting around $7.5 billion US worth of marine exports. But over a period of time, we are facing a lot of sustainability challenges. So the international market requires sustainable products. Like with the Gen Z coming, the consumer is even more worried about not only sustainability, but socially produced or harvested produce. So one example is the MMPA, Marine Mammal Protection Act, which without complying to this MMPA, India would not be able to export to US. January 26 was the deadline. Second thing is TED, Turtle Excluder Device. So 4 to 5 years back, India used to export almost, if you see the data, the wild-caught shrimps, 1 billion worth of shrimp. But today it's around 200, 300 million. And the average value has come down, the value has come down from almost $8 to $9 to $3 to $4. So we have lost that market and we are not able to export even today. Then comes to EU. EU also demands that the traceability. Where do you catch? How do you catch? Whether it is sustainable, whether it is illegal, unreported, all these challenges are there. Apart from the government bodies, there are many informal bodies like the MSc certificate and all. They themselves have a lot of eco-labels, standards, sustainability standards. So the trade today is facing a lot of challenges on account of sustainability and responsible sourcing. So what are we doing? Like what MPEDA has done till now on some of these aspects. So we are lucky that MPEDA is based in Kochi, where we have excellent scientific research organizations in this ecosystem. The Marine Mammal Protection Act, the funding was done by MPEDA and in collaboration with CMFRI, as earlier pointed out, and FSI also subsequently got some funding from the Prime Minister Matsya Sampada Yojana. So we jointly have filed the comparability findings and US has accepted our findings. In fact, China also, the China report has not been accepted, but India's report is accepted. That shows the kind of science that was involved in that and the data which we were able to produce before the US authorities. Similar is the case of TED, CAFT. We engaged with CAFT and Nova America, and we have designed the TED, and now it has to be implemented. In case of EU, there also we have the harbor data collectors from the MPEDA side, and then we at 100 harbors in India, we collect the data of the catch, and then we give the sustainability, the catch certificate to EU. So MPEDA is in the intersection between the science, compliance, and the global markets. I want to share one of the institutional learnings which I experienced while implementing the TED. So the TED, if you critically analyze it, the time which we took for TED could have been reduced had we had better exposure to various advancements or developments in other sectors. Like when the TED design was given by the US, the TED, the aluminum which we had to use was aluminum which was around 6,000 grade aluminum, which is actually used in the aerospace units I have seen. Then the welding. The welding had to be the TIG welding. So when the US authorities gave us the TED, a design, we just got the design and then we just did a prototype which is not exactly the same design, but we designed we used a different aluminum grade. The welding was done in such a way that the US authorities said that if you weld this way, the turtle would be harmed, and the space between two within the TED, the frames, that also, and the net, the Garware net, the high quality net which needs to be used. So when I joined MPEDA, that was in around 2022, I found that my team and even CAFT was stuck with this problem. They were not sure where to procure the aluminum. So fortunately, when I was in my previous posting in SEZ, I used to visit the aerospace SEZs. In Bangalore and in Belgaum, we have aerospace where we make aerospace parts. So curiously, when I had asked about aluminum, because I am from Odisha cadre, I wanted them to buy aluminum from Nalco in Odisha. So I asked, why don't you buy aluminum from Odisha? They said the aluminum which you produce is not of 6,000 grade, or it does not meet the global standard, so we need a different aluminum. So this knowledge was somewhere back of my mind when I was in SEZ. And even the welding, I had seen the welding in the aerospace industry. So that knowledge, my knowledge which I had, when I joined, immediately I was able to transfer to the team. And initially they took almost 1.5 years to finalize the design, but within 2 months we were able to procure the aluminum from Hindalco or Zindal, and even the welding we were able to do. So this is one example. Second thing is they were looking for a contractor who would design the TED. If you see the TED had aluminum component, it had the net, and it had welding. So you will not find a single vendor who will have all three of this. But the team was looking for having a single contractor who will do all these three things. So we were able to break the procurement and see that, okay, the supply chain is different, so we need to have a different procurement strategy. So we were able to break this procurement strategy and we did the TED. After doing the TED, now we are doing the pilots. Now the question is, some of the fishermen ask, if the Kerala fishermen use TED and Karnataka fishermen don't use TED, what is the benefit for the Kerala fishermen? And why should I use the TED? There is a loss if I use the TED. There is a catch loss. So it's in the economics, they call the tragedy of commons. Some of the economists are here. So the lesson I learned here is, even though we have science, there is a challenge in procurement in the scientific organizations, the challenge of procurement, then the exposure to other departments, other developments beyond the fishery science. That is one gap. And a strong social science team within the fishery science. Now coming to some of the field positive things which I have observed from MPEDA side is one drive which I had done, MPEDA and Netfish. We have a society called Netfish within MPEDA. Suchita Sagaram, we did a plastic cleaning drive. Then we have something called DROP, Drive to Recover Plastic, Ocean Plastic. So in this program, we got the support of even corporate. The HCL supported. In the Munambam Harbour, this was implemented on plastic and the hygiene. So this is Munambam Harbour is one of the best models where community has engaged in sustainability and hygiene aspects. Since the climate change is also part of your talk, with Odisha government, there is a project called ECRIC. ECRIC is Enhancing Climate Resilience and India's Coastal Communities. This is a project where Odisha is working with the coastal communities, and they have signed a MOU with RGCA, Rajiv Gandhi Center for Aquaculture, to provide them crablets. And the women leaders, the women SHG leaders are part of this movement. So that also fits into your MECOS. So maybe next year, you should look at these models and have research papers on these models. So what is missing since I am not a scientist, I am a political scientist. I study economics, I study institutions. This strong science policy and market convergence is what is required. In the MECOS5, it can be strengthened further. So, like Kochi, I told about Kochi. If you see Kochi as the NUALS, the law school, then we have the IAM Calicut, then we have MPEDA, different organizations are there. If you go to any of the Western universities, the university, a single university is not an ecosystem. Suppose you go to Boston, a student can study in Harvard Kennedy School, he can do his courses, other courses in the Harvard Law School, Harvard Education School, then he can go to the MIT and do some science courses also, or some management courses. So that is strongly missing since our DDG sir is here, it's strongly missing in our ecosystem. It's either mariculture, aquaculture, and then the same team comes to MPEDA and you will have division, mariculture, aquaculture, marketing division. So we need to have better interactions among different sciences. Like Mr. Krishnan is here. He has offered our MPEDA staff to study law in one of the Chennai universities. So we need to have such coordination. Like somebody comes to MPEDA with fishery science background, but he lacks knowledge of regulation. He lacks knowledge of economics. So he designs a regulation which will have unintended consequences sometimes. Or he designs a value-added scheme which does not think about the incentives or the behavioral thing of a stakeholder or a beneficiary. So we need to have more interaction of all the sciences. Multidisciplinary approach should be followed. And I hope in future we will have this multidisciplinary approach with community focus. We have NACA ex-chairman here. We have taken their support and build a society within MPEDA called NACSA, which is for best aquaculture practices in India. So I wish the organizers all the best. And in the Amrut Kal, this MECOS can build an ecosystem where very shortly we also can send a TED rocket to NOAA, by which we will get access of more than 1 billion worth US dollar shrimp exports we can do. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and thoughts. May I now invite Dr. J.K. Jena, DDG, Fisheries, Science and Education, ICAR, to deliver the presidential address. Sir, as DDG, is a leading force in advancing fisheries research and education in India. Sir, please.
Good morning, everyone. Most respected dignitaries present on the dais, chief guest of the program, Dr. S. Somnathji, former chairman ISRO, and distinguished Professor Sarabhai. Dr. Cherchak Birapat, Director General NACA, Dr. Vijay Kumar Behera, CNFDB, Dr. D.V. Swami, Chairman MPEDA, Dr. P. Krishnan, Director BOBP, Ambassador CSR Ram, Joint Secretary MEA, colleague Director Dr. Grinson George, former Director of this institute Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, Dr. Rekha Nair, Organizing Secretary. I know that distinguished delegates and friends are there. Several of my seniors, mentors, well-wishers are sitting in this hall. Dr. Meena Kumari, former Deputy Director General of ICAR. My colleague directors of ICR Institute, Dr. Kuldeep K. Lal, Dr. George Nainan, Dr. Kajal Chakraborty. Former directors of the ICR Institute, Dr. Jayashankar, Dr. N.G.K. Pillai, former ADG, Dr. B.B. Shuginan, Dr. Krishna Srinath, Dr. Kripa, our former colleagues at NBA, Dr. Kandan, many others. I wish to take everyone's of your name, but it is not necessary probably spending time and taking name. Invitees, senior officials of governments, my colleagues, former colleagues of this institute and other colleagues of ICR institutes, several of the invitees and friends from different organizations of Government of India, universities, delegates from India and overseas, press and media friends. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be here this morning. First of all, sincere thanks to Dr. Grinson George, director of this institute, for inviting me, giving chance to be here. It is a great opportunity all the time, coming home, being an alma mater of this esteemed institute. It is all the time pleasing to come, and that to where you studied. Again, other side of the sitting on the other side, it is all the time a big pride we consider. On behalf of ICR, on behalf of the Fisheries Science Division and my behalf, I would like to welcome each one of you for this important conference. Congratulations, Dr. Grinson. Congratulations, CMFRI, Marine Biological Association of India, NFDB, BOBP, who came together for providing this wonderful platform. Fourth episode, I'm sure several more episodes will be there, and hopefully we will have opportunity to share also our feelings. Friends, I do not know what to say. Everybody has already spoken. Whatever we say, it is a repetition, definitely, but because I am here, I need to speak something. Friends, if I ask all of you, Have you gone to Mussoorie? No. Gone to Shimla? Probably yes, no. Definitely, maybe here near Ooty is there nearby, you must have gone. When you come back, we narrate so much. It was cold, tree was beautiful, weather was beautiful, everything, so much to narrate. When then somebody asked, did you go to any sea beach? Probably yes. Have you gone to Lakshadweep, Andaman? We come back and say, yes, coast is beautiful. I had the opportunity to have a scuba diving, going to 5-meter depth, 10-meter depth. You have been able to go to 3,000-meter altitude, 5,000-meter altitude, but here we have gone on up to 5-meter depth, and we take pride. The wonderful, the nature, what is there inside the sea, we are deprived to see. We have been able to narrate everything what is there in Himalaya, but not in the trench of ocean and sea. That is the difficulty we have. We say the institute like CMFRI, last 8 decades we have done wonderfully well. So much we did. It is not only CMFRI who has been doing on studying, going to the deeper to the sea and oceans. We have institutes like CIFT have been doing. Several more institutes. When we talk of the institutional institutes involved in this process, for example, when you talk of studying ocean science or marine science and all, several, not only ICR institutes, we have here ministry institutes, SIPNET, FSI, we have institutes like NIO, NIOT, CMLRI, Marine Science Department of several of the universities. We have friends from QFOS, QSAT, and so forth. Everybody is involved, state government, MPDA, NFDB, everybody want to take stake. Central government, state government, ISRO, everyone is working on marine, understanding little of the sea and ocean. How much we know at this point of time? Probably we know very little. Every day, if we know everything, then there is no point of study. There is no point of having a platform like this, like discussing how do we take our research programs, how we need to take our new programs forward. Because in spite of the fact that all of us have been working to understand a little, but the knowledge what we have acquired is so little. Every day, every year, at least 10, 12, 20 species we are able to discover. Several things we have been able to know over these years. We have done so well. No doubt about it. The studying, for example, contribution of CMFI, being an alumni of this institute, we know how this institute have been able to contribute, for example. Even people say taking annual catch data, how it is important. It is only a data collection. Is it so? The data, how the collected data, how is giving a direction for the management of fisheries in the coastal water. Everything what we do is so important today. For example, we take pride, yes, we have gone from maybe 0.5 million ton to 4 million ton, 8-fold increase, everything is fine. People used to say, okay, 50 years back or 70 years back, when we started our research, we started with the fisheries biology, studying age and growth, studying the taxonomy, maybe studying the distribution and abundance. Is it relevant? Is it relevant? People say fishery biology, when you talk of food and feeding, migration, fecundity, that is what was taught to us when we were mariculture students. People used to tell us, is it so important to study? Yes. Probably today, when we talk of mariculture, when we take the pride to say that so many species we have been able to breed, so many species we have been able to bring to the culture system, probably this basic information was the basis for taking this forward. We did not know anything by that time. For every information which we had generated were so much useful by now. Today we are talking of, for example, Dr. Chetsak was mentioning about the blue economy. When we talk blue economy before a fisheries scientist like us, we think when you talk of blue economy, it is most important in the fisheries when we talk of sea and oceans. Probably people, when we go to the other side, maybe other department, they say it is fisheries is only a small component. If we go to the tourism industry, tourism ministry, probably they will say, probably tourism is more important. Maybe natural gas and oil, they will say most important is, vital is this. Or what we say, polymineral nodules, they will say it is more important, which is there in the maybe abyssal zone of 4,000 meter to 6,000 meter depth, which are deposited so much of minerals, whether it is iron, cobalt, nickel, and manganese, and so forth. How do you harness those nodules are so important at this point of time. So when we sit down, then we understand the treasure which are there inside the sea and ocean, which we have not been able to harness till now. How do you do those? Is important at this point of time. Yes, we have done so much. When you talk of CMFRI, it is not only the annual taking the statistics, the harvest, what you do over these years, the stock assessment work, what the CMFRI has done over these years, commendable work which has been able to help us in taking a strategic decision, management strategy, which is so important at this point of time. About 135, you talk of 135 talk with 90% of them are healthy and so forth. But is it enough? Probably when you talk of multi-species fisheries like ours, we need to go a long way. And an institute like CMFRI definitely alone will not be able to do. We need to take the help of our colleagues from other ministry, other department. Dr. Mini is here. Probably their help will be of so important. So in the coming days, we need to take up help of so many people. The stock assessment information, what you have been able to generate, how it has been helping on the strategic management, giving policy advisories, whether you talk of mesh size regulation, you talk of closed season, so and so forth. Everything has been decided based on the stock information you have been able to give. The census, which you have started the work in collaboration with FSI. I'm sure this information would be going to help us to have a strategy, taking some policy decision, how do we go, how we will take our program forward, not only on the research front, but also in the management, social development side also. We have to have a deeper dive into the deeper waters. That is what we have been talking. We have been talking of mesopelagic fishes. How do we harvest beyond 200 meter? Yes, there has been some efforts here and there. CMFRI, other institutes have been doing. Dr. Behra was mentioning they have been able to support. Probably such program need a concerted effort with several convergence of the different institutes would be must for taking this program forward. Even we do understand very little about it. We talk of so much of myctophids, so much of squid and ribbon fishes, all those things we talk, but even the zone at which it is available, still we have a little understanding. We did have definitely through our study, not only by CMFRI, NIO and CMLRE and all, everybody's effort, you have done a lot of study of understanding about the sea and oceans. We, during our, maybe our graduation, post-graduation, we were taught the physical oceanography, chemical oceanography, biological oceanography, all those things, understanding even the seabed, so important at this point of time. How much we know? Yes, we have done a lot, understood a lot, from chlorophyll to current, definitely. epipelagic zone to mesopelagic, abyssopelagic zone. We have been talking of photic water to aphotic, dysphotic water. We have been talking, when we talk of biodiversity, we are talking of plankton to nekton. Everything we know, when we talk platform like this, we say that everything we know. But lot we need to do probably when we are talking of EEZ itself. And now we are going to beyond ABNJ, we talk of that it is the time has come. We need to move from not only on, we need not be restricting only on the our EEZ, but also we should be going area beyond our national jurisdiction. So we need to have a better understanding on all those fronts. That is what is necessary. Convergence of our effort will be so important. We have done definitely so well in the harvest technology. For example, the institute like CIFT, they have been able to develop several different design of crafts. Here, Dr. Meena Kumari is here. From her time to present days, several development. When you talk of craft, people say, okay, a boat has to be built. What is there? The material, what you use, the speed at which you want to go, the carbon footprint with what we want to reduce, everything, even the design of a propeller, the holding capacity, everything becomes so important. When you talk of gear, for example, it is not the gear, the mesh size only. It is the gear material, gear preservation from synthetic, cotton, etc., etc. Everything is so important at this point of time. The conservation measures, what was talked today, for example, total extrusion device, Dr. Swami was mentioning, the effort has gone in. It is not only a simple thing, just developing something. So much of effort he mentioned about the total extrusion device or juvenile extrusion device, or with the conservation measures, what we talk of maybe square mesh at the core end of the trawl net. Everything is so important at this point of time. The conservation measures was talked of. The wrenching program, we did only a small experiment pilots. Few years we have been doing on, for example, wrenching program of pineal semicell cutters. That is, for example, with just simple talking, we have seen how the fisheries of semicell cutters in those regions has gone. We did talk. There was also discussion on the fish aggregating device. Yes. 900 places, so much of investment, 180 crores, Dr. Behera was mentioning. But a country like India, with so big a coastline, EEZ so much, with a multi-species fisheries, so much of threat of so many species, is it enough? Probably we need to look at the other countries, how much they have gone beyond. So we need to take pride. Yes, we must cherish, we must celebrate the work what we have done, but at the same time we need to do introspection that is it enough. Probably we need to go far away in the coming years. We have done a lot in fishing efficiency increase, sonar, acoustics and all, but lot to do. You talked about the transponder. Yes, transponder is a little effort, definitely. Much more we need to do when you talk of sea safety aspects. The hygiene of when they go to the multi-day fishing, every aspect is so important. We have little understanding when you talk of currents, upwelling and all. If this year we say fishing is less, sardine catch is less, mackerel is less, we say El Nino. This year there is so much of mackerel or sardine catch, El Nino effect, so much of upwelling. Because of upwelling, so much of nutrient means so much of plankton, so pelagic fisheries production is more. Only, is it the only thing, or we need to learn more? I do not know. I am not a fisheries biology student or biology student. We know the issue that challenges people. That challenges all the time people talk that so much of fishing pressure. Fishing pressure is yes, there is a crop, there is something where there is a possibility that we can manage. But the issues like, for example, microplastic. Today the concern before us is so important at this point of time. Yes, mariculture is one area we have done so well. Congratulations, CMFRI. You have done so well over last 10 years. Not only in the cage culture, Dr. Gopakumar is here, cage culture, we have done so much. Maybe 20 years before, nobody thought that can have cage culture because of so much of natural disasters. But we have been able to demonstrate, even with the simple technology, even the small cages, we can produce a lot. But time has come that how do we take those knowledge what we have gained to take it forward to a commercial enterprise, industrial enterprise, bringing bigger cages? Can we have a better mooring system? Can they maybe survive when there is a natural disaster? People talk of submersible cages just to overcome the disaster probably. We need to do a lot in the coming years. Congratulations to the group, those who have been able to succeed.
this MECOS4 inaugural function, especially on the chair who is presiding, Dr. A.K. Jana, DDG of the Fisheries Science and Education, and other distinguished people who are here, including the Joint Secretary from MEA, Ambassador C.S.R. Ram, our Chairman of the MBAI, Dr. MECOS4 IAS, Regional Director of the Payments, Charsak Virapat, Director of CMFRI, Dr. Dilson George, Dr. Vijay Kumar Bera, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, Dr. Rekha Dinayak, and many other distinguished people who are assembled here. I was wondering that in ISRO we have a culture that people who were there earlier, seniors like me, who just retired, ISRO chairman, we never retired. We continue to be present in all the programs. We invite seniors, our gurus, former chairmen and former directors for most of the programs. And I never had this opportunity to see such a culture in another organization. When you go there, you will always see only the present generation of people, and they generally don't invite the people who retired. And many times they think that those people are now anyway not useful, so better not to invite them. But I am seeing a different culture here, and I am really happy to see that those former people who were associated with this organization, this institute, are invited and they are present here. It really shows a culture where you continue to transfer the knowledge to the next generation. Possibly they are not just for this function, but they are also associating with the new researchers who are working in this domain. And it's really a good thing to see. And see, I am coming from a different regime. I am not part of your work in dealing with oceans. In fact, if you look at Earth, oceans and atmosphere, in fact, we go beyond atmosphere. I am beyond the Kalman line, 100 kilometers and above. We deal with only those stuff. So, in fact, I am not really qualified to speak about what is happening in ocean, especially with regard to marine ecosystem. Dr. Dilson George mentioned, though you didn't observe, that I have a connection to fisheries. But that is only in gastronomy really now, not really into anything else. Though my better half is educated in this domain, but right now that is all limited to that part of skills only. So that way, not much of connection in that context. And also there is a connection that I have been part of this city. Got educated here in Kochi. I have been walking around this place quite a while, but never ventured to enter into this building. So that way, that connections kept me away from this place. But I am really thankful to the organizers today of this conference to invite me. So this is a post-retirement opportunity. You think that you are all free really, but not really exactly. But then, still very happy to know about the type of organizations and the work that you do in this domain. It spreads across various disciplines. I think this is an interesting understanding that I have. And I'm very happy that the space technology, space observation capability and the science related to that has been helping the research here and translating it into societal applications and delivery. I think we're really happy about that type of work. In fact, I have strong interaction with the other institutions, which are specifically the NIO, the NIOT, where we deal with those engineering aspect of their work. One of the points that Mr. Swami mentioned, and also others mentioned, is about the depth that you can go to the sea. We are very happy when you go only 5 meter, 10 meter. So one of the challenges that NIOT has now taken up is to go to 5 kilometer depth, and how to do that. And this question was in terms of building the robotic activity to go deeper ocean survey. And there ISRO came, and I am very happy that I proposed that we will do that sphere for NIOT. And ISRO took up that challenge, and I still remember when I was the director of Krasara Space Center, I went to Delhi and presented to the team that it is possible for us to manufacture a Titanium sphere of 2-meter diameter in India and certify and give it for human travel. Since we are designing the spacecraft to go send humans to space, they were ready and accepting that idea that ISRO can manufacture and give them. And I will tell you that after almost few years of work, the sphere is now taking shape. You can come and see in Bangalore that's getting welded, made out of titanium, which is mined from India, titanium bought from Indian soil, and also manufactured in Indian industries and manufactured by ISRO's facilities. I think it's really a great technological leap that we are making at this moment. But let me come to the point that today that we are inaugurating this fourth edition of MECOS. It's a platform that brings all these type of skill sets among various institutions in this country, which deals with the marine sciences, all this leadership, the business, economy, and the social impact. I think all of these are brought together. Chairman of the MBAI very clearly brought out why this domain is so important to have a multidisciplinary stakeholder understanding, because it is so connected to the society or the work that you do. For me, I mentioned that I come from the intersection of these different regimes, the earth, ocean and sea, but this connection is very, very interesting. I think we have been very lucky to have this connection with the Ministry of Ocean Sciences and Earth Sciences in building capability for observation from space to look at sea and the coastal areas, and also Earth, of course, through the Earth observation satellites, and build some ecosystem to help you. The type of deployment, the scientific deployment we did, especially the MARSIS program some time back, which later led to the potential fishing zone advisories, the creation of the INCOIS. I think the INCOIS also was created by one of the ISRO person some time back, Dr. Radhakrishnan, who later became the chairman of ISRO. And through him I had a lot of connections with INCOIS people, and I had opportunity to visit and understand their type of work. So this has been a great journey for space program to be connected to study of oceans. And we deploy a lot of sensors. I think all of you know that the essential climate variable measurements, most of that is being done, maybe 50% of that is being done from the space-based sensors. So we were deploying spacecrafts, especially the INSAT series, the spectrometers, the sea surface temperature measurements, and many others happen from space. And really enable much of the derivative products that you all talk about now. Equally important is the type of capability that we have because of the space program, the communication infrastructure that we have enabled the distress alert terminal, the data relay transponders, and also recently the deployment of large numbers of two-way transmitting communication equipments on boats, etc., which is now currently the project is ongoing. The New Space India Limited of Department of Space is building them and deploying them at some of the states. Possibly this will extend to many other states, I am very sure about. When we were ideating and building the spacecrafts for ocean, especially the ocean sats, I think all of you are aware of it, and many of you may be using them, which has significant impact in terms of observation, both in oceans as well as the coastal ecosystem. I think this is really useful, especially with regard to the studies of climate, the biodiversity, the carbon trading. I think this is reasonably important, and also the analytics that are possible out of this data coming out of the OceanSat. I think the next series of satellites are under consideration, building. I hope this series of satellites, the ocean-related observation and science from space, will continue in the days to come. This is my hope. And today, I think all of you have been speaking quite a bit about the domain very well, since I am not from that domain of ocean sciences. But I understand that the technology related to the ocean management, especially related to sustainable technologies, business, the deployment of platforms, and many other integration of all this has been happening in at the institution, and you have also deployed certain platforms for dissemination of this information. I think this is really a great move, and I want to congratulate you, especially the Fish at CMFRI platform, which is deployed and is really impactful, I believe. So possibly I may, if I find time, then I will try to explore myself to understand what exactly it is doing. But then if you really look at long term, I won't take much time because the time for the inaugural session is already exceeded. So let me go to my specific points which I would like to speak on this inaugural speech, especially with regard to research, technology and the future challenges. If you look at the observation here in regard to the ocean, I think we still lack the type of sensors which is needed in the future. I think those who have been looking at the remote sensing data and products, we still have to have high resolution and hyperspectral data for the oceans. I think this is going to be very important, especially looking at the chlorophyll detection, the pollutants that are coming in and other activities on the ocean. This detection becomes important. I think some of the efforts in building the hyperspectral sensors is really happening, and hopefully in the coming days, such sensors will be deployed in the space-based observations. Similarly, that we need to have platforms which will be deployed in the ocean in the form of buoys, UAVs, which are networked with satellites. I think this is also equally important. The current level of deployment of the buoys is not very high, in terms of its distribution with regard to the collection of data. And we need to actually create some mechanism by which we can deploy more of buoys for not only relating to the sensors that we have today, that INCOIS and other organizations are deploying, but also more into scientific domain, which will collect not only the surface data, but also the deeper data. This need to be, in the days to come, needs to be deployed. Also, we need to have research in the domain of genomics, especially the bioinformatics, and linking this to Earth observation in the domain of the marine ecosystem. I think this is another domain, I believe, in CMFRI, such research work is really happening. Now look at data integration. I think the current generation is all with respect to the data. I was asking the director whether this effort on database science and related to information is really happening here. All of you talk about AI and ML, but then if you are to really apply artificial intelligence and machine learning into the marine sciences, I think you need to create a huge amount of data into the system, collection of this data, creation of a AML architecture, and also a platform on which that all of you can work and contribute. I think this is something which is very important. With respect to modeling the whole ecosystem, integrating not only the data from marine system, but also into the logistics. I think that all connected system also will come under the AI umbrella a little later. But so creating capability within the research organization and having an understanding both in the marine sciences as well as in data sciences. I think this type of integration need to happen in immediate basis. Another important thing is embedding space-based oceanography and those knowledges into the research ecosystem that is happening here. I know the laboratories in ICAR and other marine ecosystem are now into multiple organizations. I think just somebody was mentioning with regard to the moon that we have only one organization, ISRO, but with regard to ocean, there are too many organizations. Possibly, maybe a fact that the attention what is required for the oceans is still not visible in a coordinated effort. I think this is possibly a reason, but there are expertise in so many domains, and an integrating platform is definitely essential. Some efforts in the government side is happening at the Pradhan Mantri Yojanas are all good in that context, but then leadership here should really discuss how you really address this in a serious manner. In fact, my exposure to institutions like NIO and NIOT really show me a case where we need to venture much more deeper and with a greater focus on these sectors, because it is so much important for our economy. As you know, that if you go to moon and land on the moon, the place where you land, recently we went and Chandrayaan-3 landed, we know that point is now called Shiva Shakti, and nobody will take that place away from us. It belongs to us now. So it is the same case with a place on the, on earth, on the seas also, the beyond the boundaries where we define it as our own. Everything else is depending upon your ability to go there and acquire. And if you place your equipments there and start mining, it becomes your place. So it's such an important activity for us to go and acquire as much as marine resources by putting extra effort. I think this becomes an important topic for all of us to really seriously understand at a national level. But you look at blue economy, I think the emergence of startups and companies in this sector is still not very high. I think there are businesses happening in this sector, especially with regard to aquaculture, food processing, but then real blue tech startups, I think they are still not in the domain. I think we all of us in government, we used to speak about startup ecosystem and creation of incubators in big way. Possibly I am not fully aware of it. I think some of you may be able to educate me in terms of your ability to create companies and businesses in this sector, not just traditional companies. I think companies who are dependent on technology to create value in the marine related businesses. For example, if you go to South Korea, you will see seaweeds related business. It's really great in terms of the food production. We were still not able to make a significant impact, though there are initial efforts in this direction. So this is one topic which need to be looked at. Similarly, the impact which are there with regard to the regulations that are coming in this sector is really serious. I think some of the clue has been mentioned about the ability of people to understand the type of global regulation with regard to food production, export, etc. This also requires people who will be able to help and support the new initiatives. Let me look at what are the national priorities. In such a conference, when you meet and discuss, I believe I have gone through most of the topics that you are discussing. It covers a whole lot of science, technology, and also at the boundary of the social science and technology as well. I think all those sectors are well discussed. But at the end, that we are looking at the blue economy in the Amritkal, I think that becomes the topic of discussion. So we should finally conclude what are the measures that the nation can take up at this moment, especially with regard to a national blue economy data grid. How do you really create? How do you really integrate the activity happening across universities, educational institutions, laboratories across the country into one single data set where it is possible for decision makers, or really create some stronger national interventions. Similarly, in global level, how you really play very well as a nation in terms of UN or other advocacy bodies at appropriate time, because as far as this nation is concerned, we are one of the richest in terms of our availability of the coastal ecosystem, long coastal lines, and so many of our people dependent on ocean economy. And this requires a leadership to be present at the global forum. I think this is equally important, and how you really work on this domain and make sure that we are there. And lastly, is on as a user. It's not only as a user, but also as a knowledge exporter. How do you really create training, capacity building capability in this country for the world? I think this is also important. How do you really create world-class level universities where global education on these technologies and applications can really happen here? Kochi is definitely a place that it should be anchored. I think this is the third point which I think it's important to address. So let me conclude saying that this conference, the MECOS4, be remembered as a step towards the new definition of what you should do, because you have all the people here. I think the present leadership, the past leadership, the decision makers, the administrators, researchers, I think all of you are here. I should be able to have a sort of a discussion or a brainstorming on topics related to this. Of course, technology and science is very important, and all of us understand the ocean is so connected to us. I think that becomes significant part of that which is still not explored, because we are exploring Moon, Mars, and trying to go to exosolar planets and send a craft beyond the solar system recently. The Americans who sent it has already crossed the solar system, but just for 1 kilometer, 5 kilometers, we are still struggling. And it is the issue of physics. I think all of us realizes that if you go deeper, the pressure is something you cannot handle, the temperatures and loneliness and communication and safety, all of these are much more critical than going to space. But the space we have conquered significantly. I think we need to now conquer oceans, And it's important that our livelihood on earth is so closely linked to the ocean. So your work and effort in R&D and technology development is so crucial for the humanity, and not only for the humanity and specifically for the country like India, where lakhs or crores of people are dependent on it. So keep your efforts very high and keep the research and connect between other academic and research institutions in this country very high. And I'm very happy that ISRO has been a co-traveler of your journey in the marine knowledge and fisheries knowledge. And we will continue to do that. I think all of us in those domains are strongly connected. And thank you once again for inviting me for this conference. And with this, let me declare this conference inaugurated.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring and encouraging words. We now move to the prestigious award segment. I request Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, former Director, ICAR-CMFRI and immediate past President, MBAI, to make the announcement of Dr. S. John's Prize. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Levy. Most respected dignitaries on the dais, chief guest of today's function, none other than I consider him as the superstar of Indian space research, Dr. S. Somnath, former chairman, ISRO, and Vikram Sarabhai, distinguished professor. Dr. J.K. Jaina, DDG Fisheries and Education, my boss, he was my former boss for more than 15 years, first as a director NBFGR, then as DDG for almost 15 years, who is the president of today's function. Dr. Bijay Kumar Behra, CE, NFDB. Dr. Cherdak Virapat, Executive Director, IITP and former Director General, NACA. Dr. CSR Ram, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Dr. Dodda Venkata Swamy, Chairman, MPIDA. My dear friend and Director, BOBP IGO, Dr. Pandian Krishnan, and the host of today's function, the dynamic, vibrant, and the person who is with bubbling energy, none other than Dr. Grinson George, Director of ICAR-CMFRI and President of Marine Biological Association of India, Dr. Rekha Nair, Member Secretary, Marine Biological Association of India, and distinguished dignitaries of the dais, everyone like all my senior mentors, teachers, colleagues, sister institute directors, and scholars and research fellows from all the related organizations. I feel a bit nervous and embarrassed standing here after a gap of more than 1 year and 3 months, which I never wanted, I was never interested, but Dr. Grinson finally trapped me, asking me to be the chairman of the award committee to decide the prestigious award, triennial Dr. John's Memorial Award, which is the highest award of the oldest scientific associations in the field of marine sciences, the Marine Biological Association of India, which was established way back in 1958, that is 67 years ago. And Dr. Johns was an eminent scientist and marine biologist and former director of ICAR-CMFRI for almost 13 years, that is during 1957 to 1970. I agreed to be the chairman of the committee, but I never imagined that the trap of standing on the dais again was also included as a package. I never knew Grinson, so which I never imagined. But thank you so much, Dr. Grinson, for associating me with the award committee, which was a pious responsibility that had an extremely happy ending when we finally tallied the marks. My profuse thanks are also due to the members of the award committee, all the members of the award committee, especially Dr. N.G.K. Pillai sir for all former director CMFRI and the former president Marine Biological Association of India for all his guidance and support, and all others in the team. Dr. P. Jaishankar, former director SIFA Bhubaneswar, Dr. V.S. Bashir, former head NBFGR Kochi Center, and the member secretary Dr. Rekha Nair. Now let me go to the job the job that is assigned to me. The Dr. S. John's Memorial Award 2025 goes to none other than Dr. G. Gopakumar, former head Mariculture Division CMFRI and former HORC Mandapam Regional Center of CMFRI. Dr. Gopakumar joined the first batch of Agriculture Research Service, the prestigious ARS, in the year 1976, and he had an illustrious career for more than 38 years in CMFRI at Vinyam, Minikoi and Mandapam centers of ICAR-CMFRI. The award is the highest award, as I said earlier, of the Marine Biological Association of India, and it carries a cash prize of rupees 25,000, a medallion and a citation. So let me go to the second part of my responsibility, reading out the citation. The Marine Biological Association of India, MBAI, is proud to confer the Dr. S. Johns Memorial Award on Dr. G. Gopakumar, former principal scientist and head of the Mariculture Division and former head of the Regional Center of the ICAR-Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute and former emeritus scientist ICAR-CMFRI. In recognition of his monumental and pioneering contributions to the field of mariculture and marine fisheries over the last 4 decades. Dr. Gopakumar is celebrated as one of the most influential figures in advancing Indian mariculture sector through in the country, particularly through seminal breakthroughs in captive breeding and seed production of marine finfish. He made outstanding contributions to the development of the sector through impactful grassroots level work and establishment of robust infrastructure to support sustainable aquaculture practices. His major achievements include pioneering finfish breeding, induced breeding and large-scale round-the-year seed production technology for high-value marine food fish, notably cobia and Sigropano, that is Brachycentrum canadum and Trachinotus glauci. This technological leap is the foundation for large-scale mariculture activities in India. Advancing marine ornamental fish culture, he achieved success in developing seed production technology for several high-value marine ornamental species like clownfish and damselfish, creating micro-entrepreneurship opportunities across the nation. Third is live feed innovation. His holistic and immense culture of rotifers and copepods solved the critical bottleneck in larval rearing of marine finfishes. This ensured the quality inputs necessary socio-economic impact and policy. It's very important. So Dr. Gopakumar's efforts successfully bridge the gap between the laboratory research and field adoption, empowering Furthermore, he assisted in developing the draft National Mariculture Policy 2019 for the Government of India, 2018 for the National Fisheries Development Board and Government of India, and prioritizing the list of maricultured species for breeding and seed production in 2014-15. All these shaped the sector's future. Capacity building and infrastructure development. He was instrumental in establishing state-of-the-art laboratory, hatchery, and training facilities at ICAR training numerous entrepreneurs, associations, women fisher folk in establishing marine ornamental seed production units, and also trained numerous mariculture researchers across India. His visionary efforts have strengthened the foundation of mariculture research and implementation, fostering innovation and capacity building across coastal communities. For his vision, scientific excellence and transformative impact on coastal livelihoods, the Marine Biological Association of India, MBAI, honors Dr. G. Gopakumar with the prestigious Dr. S. Johns Memorial Award during the MECOS International Symposium on the 4th November 2025. Thank you so much. Hearty congratulations, most respected Gopakumar sir.
It's a privilege to present a glimpse into the career of Dr. G. Gopakumar. Dr. G. Gopakumar to receive Dr. S. Johns Prize. May I request the Chief Guest to please do the honors. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. G. Gopakumar to give his acceptance speech. Sir, please.
Respected Dr. Somnath sir, former Chairman ICAR, and our Chief Guest, Dr. Dena sir, DDG Fisheries SCA, respected dignitaries of the race and of the race, esteemed officers and members of the Marine Biological Association of India, distinguished delegates from the symposium, and my dear friends, I profusely thank the Marine Biological Association of India for considering me and selecting me for this prestigious prize. Years of my retirement. It also indicates that one of the areas of work which we have initiated is still are still relevant in the sector. In fact, this prize is Dr. John Sir's Mumbai Prize. Dr. John Sir, as I said, is a legendary personality. In fact, he was a great missionary who founded the Marine Biological Association of India. Many of the veterans of CMFRI were motivated by him for becoming international experts on various areas of marine biology. In fact, he had the mission to organize the first International Symposium on corals and coral reefs in India. So I had an instance that when he was during that symposium, Dr. Stoddard, an expert on coral, the international expert on coral reefs, was asking Dr. Johnson, what is your authority to organize this international symposium in India? Dr. Johnson said that it is because we have corals and coral reefs in India. Dr. Johnson's contribution to marine, apart from his contribution to marine biology, he was a great humanitarian. He founded the polio home at Trivandrum, where hundreds of polio affected children are getting rehabilitated. In fact, I value this prize so much because it is in the name of a legendary personality. So when we joined in CMFRI in 1976, actually, Dr. Sayaswar was the director of CMFRI. He was a person who was very much sure about the potentiality of agriculture, and he motivated all of young scientists to take up challenging projects in agriculture. In fact, that only motivated me also to in future to take up agriculture programs. As we are all aware, the three broad areas where the vital things to aquaculture are seed, food and sustainable farming methods. So when we took up, I have our team has reviewed what is happening in the marine fish seed production area. When we found that the technologies are still in its infancy and there is a need to give research inputs more in this vital sector. So our team worked on that and we developed technology importance in the agriculture, that is Kochi and Singapore. So apart from that, actually, we also developed technologies for species of marine ornamental fishes. In fact, when the marine ornamental fishes trade is taking up on a large scale, if it is exploited from the wild coral reef areas, it can damage the coral reef ecosystem. So in fact, hatchery production developing the trade will be an alternative to sustain the marine ornamental fish trade in future years. The third area which we were focusing was on the recirculation aquaculture system, which is a recent innovation in aquaculture. We introduced the recirculation aquaculture system, the conditioning of the photothermal conditioning of the broodstock of cobia and pompano, and we found that this by conditioning in this recirculation aquaculture system, we can get the breeding of these species on demand. So I think the application of our recirculation aquaculture will gradually spread in India. Multi-trophic aquaculture. We all know that actually aquaculture can produce waste and organic waste, and it can be produced in the environment. So if it is done on a large scale, organic pollution may happen. Waste pollution may happen. So integrating a few commercially important species of different trophic levels into this system. In fact, bioremediation can be done and production also can be increased. So we released the sealed cup of MECOS and cobia cages and did some experiments, and we found that the organic waste producing cobia is accepted by the as manure by the seaweeds, and it also added to the growth. So in the future, I feel that when a large scale integrated manicular ecosystem systems are coming, integrated multi-trophical ecosystem systems are coming up, we can integrate fish, green mussel and seaweed in the system, so that at a large extent bioremediation can be achieved and production also can be increased. So my request to the young scientists is to take up challenging projects instead of routine projects. Challenging projects can only yield results which can impact the sector. Otherwise, only mediocre results will be there, and we cannot achieve much. We cannot create much impact in the sector. I want to say that actually all these MECOS4 was also developed in US and almost a center of excellence in agriculture. We create the hatcheries, farms and agriculture laboratories. I'm not saying that all these things are done by me individually. Agriculture research is a teamwork, and all my colleagues who are doing the MECOS4 because they played a vital role in making these achievements. I thank each and every one of them for their contribution. I am also profoundly thankful to the then directors of the Foundation Body, Dr. T.K. Pillai, sir, Dr. Saidar Rao and Dr. Goval Vishnu for encouraging and actually presenting me well in this environment, contributing to research. I once again thank all of you for opening me after so many years of my retirement. And just going to come and meet all of you. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, sir, for accepting this honor. Your pioneering achievements motivate us to aim higher. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I now request Director CMFRI to felicitate our esteemed dignitaries by presenting mementos as a mark of respect and gratitude. Sir, please. Thank you, sir. Now, we will move on to a significant moment of this inaugural session, the exchange of Memoranda of Understanding between ICAR-CMFRI and our esteemed collaborating institutes and industry partners. May I request the representatives of the partnering organizations to please come forward and grace the dais for the MOU exchange ceremony. Mrs. Kavita Nehemia, SNAP Natural Arginate Products Private Limited, Tamil Nadu, for the technology commercialization with regard to the nutraceutical product Kadalmeen Immunoboost Extract. Thank you. Next we have Mr. Shivadasan and Mr. Ranjit Das, of 3-Point G3 Technologies Private Limited, Kerala, for the technology transfer of black soldier fly larvae based biovalorization technology. Thank you. Moving on, we have Dr. V. Sheila Rani, Director of Research and former Vice Chancellor, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, for academic and research collaborations. Thank you. Moving further, we have cooperation agreement between ICAR-CMFRI, Bay of Bengal Program IGO and Environmental Defense India Foundation. May I request Dr. Vincent George, Director CMFRI, and Dr. P. Krishnan, Director VOBP, and Hisham Mandur, Director EDIF, to come forward. Congratulations to all collaborators. Up next, we have the release of newly published books from ICAR-CMFRI. May I invite the dignitaries on the dais to kindly release the books. Book of Abstracts of the Symposium by Dr. K. Shobana and team. Souvenir of the Symposium by Dr. Imelda Joseph and team. Next we have Geodecennial Report of ICAR-CMFRI by Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan and team. One more. Lagos, A Journey Through Lakshadweep Atoll by Dr. Srinath K.R. and team. Thank you. We are delighted to present our latest publications in the digital format, and sustainability. I request our chief guest to kindly proceed with the release of this publication. Integrated Marine Fisheries Policy Frameworks for Indian Coastal States and Union Territories by ICAR-CMFRI. Blue Horizons for Sustainability, Status and Prospects of India's Marine Fisheries by Dr. Shobha Kirkudan and team. Next, we have a field guide of sharks and chimeras, a guide to Indian species by Dr. Shobha Kirkudan and team. Next, we have Otolith Atlas of Common Marine Finfishes of India by Dr. E.M. Abdul Samad and team. Up next, we have the release of Marine Biodiversity Museum Catalog 2025 by Dr. Rekha J. Nair and team. Next, we have a profile of the dried fish-based economy of Maharashtra by Dr. Anulakshmi Chedappan and team. Next, we have a commercial cephalopods of India by Dr. Geeta Shashikumar and Dr. K.K. Sajikumar. Next, we have Aquatic Jewels of India, Breeding and Culture of Ornamental Fishes by Dr. Madhu K. and team. Thank you, sirs. Before we close the formal inaugural session, may I now invite Dr. Rekha J. Nair, Organizing Secretary MECOS4, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to all my distinguished guests on and off the dais, the fellow delegates, and my respected seniors and colleagues. It is indeed a privilege and honor to propose a vote of thanks on this significant occasion of the inaugural ceremony of MECOS4, organized by ICAR-CMFRI along with the Marine Biological Association of India and the National Fisheries Development Board, NFDB. A preview of MBAI and what MBAI stands for was already presented by Dr. E. Gopalakrishnan sir, our former director, so I am not going into that. So at the outset, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. S. Somnath sir, Vikram Sarabhai, distinguished professor and former chairman ISAR, for his gracious presence and for delivering a very inspiring inaugural address. Thank you, sir. I am sure many researchers here and my student delegates would be truly inspired to take up serious research in the areas of research which sir was talking about. My deepest gratitude also to our director, Dr. Vincent George, director ICAR-CMFRI, and the convener of MECOS, as well as the president of the Marine Biological Association of India, for his leadership, constant encouragement, and the invaluable support in meticulously planning and executing this event. And he has been a primary driving force behind the successful organization. Thank you, Dr. Vincent. Thank you, sir. Our sincere appreciation goes to Dr. Jenna sir, Deputy Director General, Fisheries Science and Education, ICAR, for his thought-provoking presidential address, his sustained guidance and support to the entire fisheries community. Thank you, sir. We are deeply grateful to Dr. B. Krishnan, Director, DOBP IGO, for his informatory award of Bill and a co-sponsor. Thank you. A heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to our distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Veerappat, Regional Director for Asia, Team Thailand, and former Director General NAFTA, and UN Kedda. Dr. Vijay Kumar Behra, Chief Executive NFDP, sir, we are thankful to you for your support throughout in organizing this prestigious event. In fact, they have been one of our major sponsors. Thank you, sir, for your continued support. Thanks also to Ambassador C.S. Ram, sir, IFS Joint Secretary, Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, and to Dr. Venkateswamy, sir, IAS Chairman and Pradhan. Sir was very supportive of us when we went to him for financial as well as all other support. Thank you, sir. A special note of thanks is due to Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, former Director, ICAR-CMFRI, and immediate past President MBA, for announcing the Jones Award and his continued guidance and support to this institution. Thank you, sir. We also gratefully acknowledge the presentation of Dr. S. Jones to Dr. Gopakumar, sir, for coming over from Trivandrum and accepting the award. Thank you, sir. We also thank all the publication authors and the products and for the coming out the MOUs which were signed, which signify the continued advancement of marine research science under the aegis of ICAR-CMFRI. On behalf of all the organizers, I wish to thank all the co-organizers, NFDP and BOPP-IGO, and to all the support and the sponsors, the advertisements, which helped us organize this event very successfully. On this occasion, I also wish to thank our seniors, my teachers, all the members of MBAI who have come from foreign places and blessed this occasion. Thank you one and all. A special word of thanks is reserved to the members of the organizing committee, which started from a core group of 6 to Team CMFRI. I think every one of you must have realized how Team CMFRI stands up for any occasion. Thank you, team, for supporting us. We also thank the media representatives for their kind coverage and continued support. Once again, on behalf of ICAR-CMFRI and the organizing committee, I express my deepest gratitude to everyone present here for making this inauguration a truly memorable one. Thank you. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Madam, for your gracious acknowledgements. Finally, I request all of you to stand for the national anthem. Thank you. We now request all dignitaries and participants to assemble for a group photo.